Measurement of growth. How fast is it changing? In this section, we use growth rates to analyze quantitative information. The headline of the 2013 article below states that Facebook grows daily active users by 45%. The article itself gives data to back up the statement in its headline, and the graph below gives a visual picture of the data from the article. Even though the article makes it clear that the growth rate of Facebook is dramatic, without the figure to the left, the growth might not be as vivid. Although raw information can seem overwhelming, certain basic principles are helpful for mining data. In this section, we will examine several ways to summarize and visualize the quantitative information presented in tables. Example 1. If we work for an hourly wage, our pay for the week depends on the number of hours we work. When one quantity or variable depends on another, the latter is referred to as the independent variable, and the former is referred to as the dependent variable. A function describes how the dependent variable depends on the independent variable. In the example above, weekly pay depends on hours worked. So, the dependent variable is weekly pay, and the independent variable is the number of hours worked. We say that the weekly pay is a function of the number of hours worked because the weekly pay depends on hours worked. The independent variable is sometimes called the input value, and the dependent variable the output value of a function. With this terminology, we can think of a function as a machine that accepts the input variable and produces the output variable. Note 1. Besides output, the dependent variable is also referred to as the y value, function value, and sometimes regrettably as just the function. This is regrettable because the function is made up of more than just the dependent variable. It is the relationship between the dependent variable and the independent variable that defines a function. Note 2. A function is required to have exactly one output for every input. It would not do, for example, to have two different weekly earnings for a person who worked 40 hours a week. Only one paycheck will be produced. Example 2. For each of the functions below, identify the independent and dependent variables. Your height is a function of your age. Because your height depends on your age, height is the dependent variable and age is the independent variable. The amount of income tax you owe is a function of your taxable income. Because the amount of income tax you owe depends on your taxable income, the income tax you owe is the dependent variable and your taxable income is the independent variable. The number of euros you can get for $1 is a function of the date. Because the number of euros you can get for $1 depends on the date, the number of euros you can get for $1 is the dependent variable, and the date is the independent variable.